Guys, welcome back. This is part 5. I know it's going to take a bunch of parts. Maybe this will be 10 parts. I don't know. But I'm going to try as fast as I could. This is a sequel that got shit on. It came out right after the first one, a year later. And it got a bad rap. And I don't think it's that bad. It's a really worthy sequel. And that is... Wait. Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Not 3 and 4, I think, are really solid. And a lot of people seem to enjoy it. But 2 gets shit on. Wait, right here. I like the character of Jesse in the second film. I know it's not Nancy. I still think the kills are pretty inventive. Yeah, it's the gay version. It didn't bother me. I saw Party Monster last night, and that's as gay as you're gonna get, but it's still a very. I enjoyed that movie. This is a good sequel to the first film. Is it better than the first film? Not a chance. But I thought the guy that played Jesse, Mark Patton, I think his name is. Yeah, Mark Patton, he was good. Kim Myers was beautiful. Robert Englund is still Freddy, and he's still creepy. And he has great lines like, "You got the body, and I got the brain." And his laugh is still menacing. Ha ha ha! It's great. Great stuff. Really inventive imagination, in the film still. The dreams still work very well. The visual effects still look fantastic. It's not unimaginative like the remake. It's still a really underrated sequel. I wish it got a better DVD. I wish Wes Craven would have directed it, but he was doing other stuff. But I don't think it's terrible. It's a good sequel. Next is the real sequel to the first film. I did enjoy the first film. I have it on DVD. I do like the sequel. It has some problems. I definitely will say that, but I enjoyed it despite that, and that is Lost Boys: The Thirst. Yeah, I thought this was a really fun sequel. Despite having a lower budget than the first film and not having the best actors compared, these two girls, they're nice to look at, but they're not the best actresses in the world. But Corey Feldman is the reason to watch this film. He kicks ass in this movie. It says Corey Feldman returns as ace vampire Edgar Frog. He's awesome. I love his awesome voice, like, "Yo, I'm gonna kill vampires." Yeah, he sounds like Christian Bale's Batman, but he's more badass, in my opinion. I do like Christian Bale, as Batman, but that's another story. But this is a fun sequel. Give it a watch. Don't disregard this because it's direct to video. It is a good sequel to the first film. The Tribe sucks, but this one was better. And it was faster paced, good gore, good vampires, good kills, awesome action, fun movie. That's all I can say. Anyway, this is another sequel. This was voted as one of the worst movies of all time. I don't know why. I've seen worse this year. I saw R.I.P.D., Host, and a bunch of other films that were more painful than this. And I like this sequel. It's very underrated. I know Cole from the Sausage Factory says that this is a fun sequel. Yes, it has problems. I don't think the villains are strong in this movie, but I do like the film, and that is Blade Trinity, the unrated version. I like this sequel actually. I like it a little bit more than the second one because it's so underrated. I like Jessica Biel and I like Ryan Reynolds. I know they take up a little more time than Blade does, but I don't mind them as the Daywalkers. I like Ryan Reynolds. I thought he was funny in the movie. Jessica Biel held her own well, when the fight scenes. I liked her as an archer. It reminded me of Hawkeye. It's pretty cool. I like Wesley Snipes when he's there as Blade. He does what he can. I know that he had an ego and he was like, "Oh, I should get the most screen time." He was a douchebag when on the working, on the making of this film. That he didn't even do the commentary with the director David S. Goyer or Jessica Biel or Ryan Reynolds because he was like he had a big ego trip. Wesley Snipes, people paid to see this movie and you're in the first film, so eat a piece of humble pie. I look forward to seeing you in Expendables 3, but please put your ego to the side, man. You were in prison for God knows how long, and you don't need to be there. I want to see you in films like this and other films, kicking ass and taking names. And I do like the film. I think it's fun. The villains, like I said, are not strong at all, but I still think it holds up for a 10-year-old film that's going to be 10 years old next year. I'd rather see this than New Moon, Eclipse, and Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1. Just saying. It's got real vampires, not the sparkling emo douchebags. Anyway, here's another sequel. Yes, it's very long. Yes, the first hour has a lot of problems, but I still like this movie. I haven't seen it for a long time. but I'd rather see this than part 4. 4, I haven't even seen the trailer yet, and that is Transformers Dark of the Moon. It's a very underrated sequel. Critics thought this is one of the worst things ever. I like the action when it's there. The robots still look very, very cool. The movie has some problems, I know, like some of the pacing and some of the characters that didn't need to be there, but I still enjoy this movie. The villain is pretty cool. Sentinel Prime. I like this guy. I think his name is Starscream or Shockwave or whatever. He's pretty cool. The visuals I think are really good. I mean, a lot of people don't give these movies credits. They have some of the best visual effects of robots I've ever seen. Is this better than Pacific Rim? Yes, I agree. It is. There's more robot action. I liked Pacific Rim, but this movie I saw in the theater first, and I had a ball. It's not perfect, but I did laugh. I was entertained. I like the action when it's there. I like the visuals. I like Shia LaBeouf in the movie. The girl, not the best actress. I thought she was tolerable. Nice to look at. Very nice voice. Fun movie. End the story. Okay, next is a sequel that, while they didn't get shit on, it didn't get most of the recognition it deserved. It deserved to make a lot more than it did. It's kind of like a cult sequel, and I like that it has a cult following, and that is Crank 2, High Voltage. This is a crazy, over-the-top, fun action movie that I think deserves more than just, it made like about 60 million. It deserves more than that. This film should have made 150 million worldwide, because this is fun. I like Jason Statham in these films. It's so crazy. Amy Smart is absolutely gorgeous in this movie. This film is so over the top. It's cartoonish, but it's a lot of fun. It has a fast pace. It's very short. It's 95 minutes. It goes by quick. It's not pretentious. There's no stupid shaky cam. There's no bad edits. It's got a lot of practical effects. It's got a good visual style to it. I think that Neville Dean and Taylor have a good visual style when it comes to this. And the first one I still need to see. I know I'm guilty of that, but this is fun. This movie is worth your time. I think it's really cool. Next, this is a sequel that on IMDb this movie gets like a 2 or 3, and I don't think it deserves that. I've seen worse this year. I've seen worse last year. I even saw worse films in like 2010. This movie I think is very funny. I like John Cena in the film, Sue Me. I'm a fan of John Cena. I like the Lucas Krashank here. I know he came out of the closet this year, but here he was fun. And that is Fred 2, Night of the Living Fred. This film made me laugh a lot. It's a Nickelodeon movie, but I had fun with it despite that. I like this hologram. It's a lot. I love that sound. It's pretty cool. Daniela Monet as Bertha. I thought she was very, very cute. I think she's one of the best actresses on Nickelodeon. So beautiful. The vampires here are pretty cool, fun to look at. I like the makeup effects when it's there. I think it's better than the first film. Very underrated sequel. Give it a watch. If you like Fred, give this a watch. If you don't, then stay away from this and the other movies and the TV show, because to each his own. I liked it. Okay, now this is the true sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Not Texas Chainsaw 3D in my face. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. This is the true sequel. It's awesome. The gore's great. Caroline Williams is a good lead. Leatherface is not a pussy in this movie like in the other film or in part 4. I like Dennis Hopper. I miss him in the film. Bill Moseley is having a ball in this movie. I think it's very, very entertaining despite the fact that it's a sequel to one of the greatest horror films of all time. It's a dark comedy. It's not much of a slasher film, but it works. It's very, very fun. I listened to the commentaries of this, and it's a lot of fun. The movie got a bad rap. They called it one of the worst sequels ever. I don't think so. The new one that came out this year is worse. And part 4. This one's fun. Don't listen to the critics. Just go with this watch this with an open mind if you haven't seen it, because it is fun, fun, fun. I know it is, and I saw this on Halloween 2 years ago, and I have not regret watching it. It's cool. Okay, next part.